Hi, folks. Am I still on the same broadcast? Or do I have to? Oh, man. Are you with me, folks? At least it didn't knock everything off my screen this time. I have no count where I'm at. I don't have any, nothing showing up on the screen. Man. I can't see chats. I don't know what's going on. I can't see a counter or nothing. I can't get into my studio. I don't know if I'm on the same broadcast or what. Oh, I still got a few people left. I hope nobody heard me cursing because I didn't know where I was at. I had to try to get back on. I don't have any chats on the screen or nothing. And I had to reload that Epstein picture. I had nothing on the screen. I got no chats. I got no, well, the timer's working. There's Rain. Yeah, I was talking about J and then 6, right? J6, and then I got taken down. I didn't touch anything. It just did it. And now my studio is all screwed up, but that's okay. I will forge on. Because this is what we're dealing with, folks, right here. I've shown this one before. Liberals watching you have a happy family. They can't stand it. They can't stand it. All right. Hey, everybody's coming back in. Cynthia, Rain, Cynthia, Randy, Debbie, Larry, Gary. All right. So, well, I got some good people hanging in there that know what this is all about. Pappy Two Bears. I'm a stubborn old fellow. You better believe that. It is crazy because my screen is all cuckoo right now. Cuckoo. I can read the chats, but they're a lot different than they usually are. But anyway, let me try to get through what I can. If I could show you all my screen is doing, you wouldn't believe it. I want to play now. This is a video about Fetterman. He fell down, right? And thank goodness he's okay. I don't know if this was just before he fell down or after, because I don't see any marks on his face. And he was talking about, if you think I was ugly before, you ought to see me now. And so, I'm trying to find it. Somebody put a comment up in on Midas Trash Network. MAGA is supporting Fetterman since he fell down. That tells you all you need to know. What? Just because people don't want to see somebody fall down and get hurt? There are people that hope somebody improves after a stroke? That's bad? Here they are. Let me see if this is it. Yeah, right here. Per Fox News, Midas Trash Pale Network. Google it. MAGA supporters rally around Democratic Senator John Fetterman after fall sends him to the hospital. Nothing more needs to be said. What the hell do you mean by that? Nothing more needs to be said. What, you want him to get hurt? Because he wouldn't keep the government closed? Oh, wait a minute, it's the Republicans' fault the government's shut down. But you all constantly demanding it to stay shut down? And it's Republican. Oh, okay. Yeah. You crazy lunatics. But anyway, here's Katie Couric. What a puke. And it's kind of like the Rachel Maddow thing. I dare you. I dare you. She's talking about Charlie Kirk. And you can tell she was a camp counselor back in the 1980s. I'm not kidding you. She was recruited to be a news anchor. And she was a liberal, I might as well say a communist-leaning question mark camp counselor that was put in one of the most prestigious news reporting businesses. So she knows how to manipulate her words. You listen to her when she's talking to Fetterman. She insinuates that Charlie Kirk was saying vile, racist, violent things, but she won't say what it is. And I hope she crosses that line where she can get her ass sued. Okay? I would love to see that trial with Erica Kirk and Katie Couric or Ricky Maddow or any of them. They have got their heads in the sand. They're having a nervous breakdown. They're hiding out. But listen to how slick she is. Now, Fetterman tries to handle it. I don't know if this was before his fall or after his fall, but keep in mind he's had the strokes. And he's trying to navigate her hints that Charlie Kirk was an evil person. But she doesn't come right out and say what he ever said wrong. It's you've got to be trained to talk and behave this way to put it in the public's mind that Charlie Kirk was an evil person. And she does exactly that. Damn thing won't play. Let me see. No, I'm not happy with that. Let me try it again. There we go.
You think that flags should have been flown at half staff? Do you think his body should have been flown on Air Force Two? Do you think he should have posthumously be given the Presidential Medal of Freedom? I think some people felt that was perhaps over the top in terms of mourning someone like Charlie Kirk. How did you feel about that?
I'd say that was his choice and his prerogative, and that was really entirely up to him.
Did you have any issues now in hindsight over some of the things that Charlie Kirk said and some of the rhetoric he used during his life?
I didn't agree with much of it. I didn't closely follow his specific kinds of views, but I did.
I'm sure you learned about them after his death, though.
No, I haven't done a deep dive on it. We've all seen that terrible video. Perhaps if you've seen the actual video, I have. And it's like appalling. And that's part of the political violence. And from what I'm saying, it's like that's unacceptable. And engaging in a debate and views I strongly disagree on, that's part of the American democracy. And for me, it's that would never justify what's happened. And I just chose not to take the opportunity to argue his views after children lost his father in the most violent public way. I mean, so I would say the equivalent on the left might be, say, Mr. Piker. I strongly disagree with his views, but I'm appalled if something like that happened to him. Oh my God. I mean, that's, like we have to disagree in better ways where, you're going to solve it by shooting people. And that's why the kind of rhetoric, we have to turn the temperature down. Extreme rhetoric makes it easier for extreme reactions or to justify them.
I think some people might say Charlie Kirk's rhetoric was extreme. I think that's the conversation that happened. People condemned political violence, but they also felt a great deal of discomfort with his language.
Name
suggesting
something
that
he said.
these
Name it.
kinds of words lead to violence. I don't know. I'm just kind of sharing my observations as I saw the conversations unfold.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think we agree that we probably didn't agree with much of what he said, and I think I'm sure we both agree that you shouldn't shoot people, and you shouldn't execute them in public. And I think that's two things must be true. That free speech, I'm an absolute free speech guy, and you have the right to say these things, and you definitely also have the right not to get shot by sharing your views.
Now, he was in a difficult spot, but he is sitting there comparing Charlie Kirk to Hassan Piker, who's currently in China, advocating for a change in our government and talking about how we pick on China. He's undermining our country in China right now. But all the horrible things Hassan Piker said, comparing Charlie Kirk to him, but Katie Couric was goading him, and she was talking in generalities, saying that he was using violent rhetoric. I think that's enough right there to drag her into court. Disgusting. These liberals are disgusting. Speaking of disgusting, let me see what's going on with this dopey. I don't know who this podcaster is, but he's got Hunter Biden on. I get it. I guess you need clicks, you need views or whatever, and you're going to have this degenerate. Now, keep in mind, this person put up the laptop from hell. He's seen with prostitutes. He's seen it using drugs. He's seen committing felonies. His father, his uncle have committed financial crimes against the United States, financial crimes against the people of Ukraine and other nations. Okay? And listen to what he said. If I was doing a podcast, I guess I could have him on as a guest, but he couldn't handle me. I mean, I wouldn't be rude to him. I wouldn't curse him. I wouldn't interrupt him, but I'd bust his ass. That's for sure. But this little clown kowtows to Hunter Biden, and of course, language alert. I just said some words, but he can't help himself. He's a trashy degenerate. He's got to go straight to the F word, But here he is talking smack.
Let me tell you where the genocide is about to occur and is occurring right now. Directly because of Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Donald Trump, under the direction of Elon Musk, ended USAID, a organization, government organization that has been in existence since the late 60s, and have saved. And when I was talking about what the good that the United States could do, it could not be more embodied than in the work that USAID has done over the course of decades. Every single major study that has been done ever since USAID ended, which was back in May, and it's ended, it's gone, okay, is that over 14 million people are going to die because of the end of USAID. And the genocide here is going to be in the fact that it is not as if 14 million people are going to die in the next 5 years. By the way, 4 million of them, children under the age of 5. And it's not like I'm saying, if we all just got together, if the United States could muster the support of the world, we can come up with the resources and we can figure out how to be able to change these people's lives and give them hope and a chance for existence. That's not what I'm talking about. What they did is they went in and they flipped the fucking switch. And because they flipped that switch, 14 million people are going to die. 4 million of them are going to be children.
Yeah.
That's a fucking genocide. Excuse my language.
It's okay.
That's my that is a genocide.
So he's going to talk about children. He's talking about U.S. aid being that's been nothing. U.S. aid has been nothing but for you all to steal from. That doesn't go to children, and that's a hell of a claim to say that 14 million people are going to die. Look how many lives you've ruined. But anyway, here's some more of his garbage. This is an old interview. He just gave the interview. Miss Mendersu. Yeah, the smartest guy Joe knows right here.
There's no ethics in what, like someone as horrendously ugly as Miranda Devine, physically and in terms of her and in terms of her ethics, it does. I mean, she is, and that goes for I mean, Daily Mail and but I mean, they're whores. I mean, they're whores for money, and she does it because she makes money, and when she goes to sleep at night, I'm sure she sleeps just fine. But I don't know anybody that's going to be mourning her when she's gone.
I
She's an
think
ugly person.
Yeah, whatever. Wait for him to dry up and blow away. Clandestine put up something to remind us. Let me see. It is about a certain executive order. He said Democrats aren't allowed to criticize about Epstein and child trafficking. He goes on to say the Dems' open border policies allowed them the creation of one of the largest child trafficking corridor on the planet. The Dems covered up the crisis at our border to maintain their flow of illegal voters. The Dems and their sheep also did not start caring about Epstein until a few months ago. Trump supporters have been talking about this grim reality for 10 plus years now. My screen is, there we go. In fact, the Dems mocked us the entire time and said it was a conspiracy theory. But now they're all of a sudden experts on the subject. Dems refused to acknowledge when Trump signed multiple executive orders in his first term to target transnational human trafficking organizations worldwide. They didn't say anything when Trump's DOJ arrested Epstein in 2019? Yeah, the Dems didn't even bring this subject up once during Biden's 4 years. Not to mention, the Dems' mainstream media lost their minds when the movie Sound of Freedom came out and tried to prevent the public from seeing it. Anyone who votes blue does not actually care about child trafficking. If they did, they wouldn't vote blue. And he put this picture up to remind us. Executive Order 13773, enforcing federal law with respect to transnational criminal organizations and preventing international trafficking. I don't trust Fetterman either, baby nurse. How you doing? I don't trust him. He was awful weak, saying, well, I don't agree with the words either. But earlier he said, I really don't know what he was saying. I never listened to what he was saying. Well, then how can you condemn him and compare him to Hassan Piker? Fetterman. But that's politicians for you. They're greasy. Holy SHI, and that's it. Trump just said he's going to use the full power of the DOJ to go after Clinton and the rest of the Epstein's actual friends. The Dems just walked into a trap. The left were baited into caring about Epstein because they thought it implicated Trump. Genius, genius. I agree. I call it political jujitsu. Political jujitsu. And that was where I got this copy of this clip that I played many times. I played at the beginning of the broadcast.
Bill Clinton.
Nice guy. Got a lot of problems coming up, in my opinion, with the famous island with Jeffrey Epstein. A lot of problems.
Bill Clinton.
That was back in 2015.
Got a lot of problems coming up, in my opinion, with
2015. Oh, here's Pete Butt Edge, as Trump says. Tell me he's saying Trump's a fascist. But watch how slick he says it. Like I said, they get training how to say this stuff, but then they can deny they said it.
You just invoked the expression blood and soil nationalism, which obviously rings more ominously in the original German. And you said that our current vice president is a blood and soil nationalist. Do you think that J.D. Vance is a fascist?
If it's convenient for him to be a fascist, he'll be a fascist. Maybe later on he'll go back to being a Silicon Valley Democrat. He'll be whatever he needs to be.
I'm sorry, he was talking about J.D. Vance. I said Trump. I got it scrambled up. But anyway, since you talk about J.D. Vance, here's J.D. I got a clip, two clips of him, I think, where he's talking about Trump's energy. And the next one he's talking about if he had to take over as vice president. So he had an interview with Sean Hannity.
I joke with some of the cabinet because the president and I can't travel together. That's one of the things. Right? We're never on the same airplane. Right. And they're always like, "You're very lucky." You like that? Yeah, well, they're always saying, "You're so lucky because if we go on a 20-hour trip somewhere, he doesn't sleep the entire time. And of course, if he's not sleeping, if he's working, he expects everybody else to be working too." So again, the energy that the guy has really is off the charts. But again, you've got to have that level of energy to do this job successfully.
You seem to go with the flow pretty well. Do you have quiet moments you think about that?
Yeah, honestly, Sean, I try not to. I mean, one, I serve under Donald Trump, who is very healthy.
He casts a pretty big shadow.
He casts a big shadow, but if I served under Joe Biden, I'd probably be worried every minute of every day that he was going to croak and that I'd have to become president. But because I serve a president...
You have a bat phone. Okay, did it just happen?
Like, I'd never be able to sleep. I'd always have my cell phone as loud as possible. But no, the president, one, you know, he's got a lot of energy. He's extremely healthy. So I don't think about that. Obviously, that's part of the job, is you've got to be ready if tragedy strikes.
Yeah, well, let's hope nothing strikes bad. You know, I'm going to save this one for last. Talking about the VAX. I'm kind of miffed because my broadcast was interrupted. And I forgot to ask you all for thumbs ups. I mean, I've been broadcasting for over an hour and a half. But I guess it's never too late to ask, right? If you all could remember to give me a thumbs up, I would greatly appreciate it. Would help out quite a bit, help the video get around. So I'm going to play this Vax one last, I think. Kind of taking a chance. I don't know. But let me cover some other things real quick. Whoa. DeSantis reveals game-changing redistricting push that could swing advantage back to GOP. He uses the same words Trump used today in his tweet, "Stay tuned." With just 2 months until Florida's legislative session, Ron DeSantis is reminding lawmakers he still expects them to deliver a new congressional map. So I don't know if that's a calm or not. Stay tuned. Trump used it today, and so did DeSantis. But anyway, that's going to offset what they did in California, which is being challenged in court. Okay? Well, unlike the liberals, I am not going to celebrate this about Jesse Jackson. I was saying in earlier broadcasts, I was hoping that Jesse Jackson, he'd been quiet through all this craziness with transgenderism and everything else. I was saying, will he come out and be a hero for the left and stand up against that type of stuff? And he never did. Well, anyway, Reverend Jesse Jackson, the veteran civil rights leader and political firebrand, was hospitalized Wednesday as he battles a rare and incurable neurological disease. His organization said he's 84 years old. So, no, we don't want anything bad to happen to Jesse Jackson. Many of us knew he's been sick for some time. But hopefully they'll manage the illness as best they can. Trump vindicated after Dems are forced to backtrack, delete shock Epstein allegation. The DNC, the Democratic National Committee, let's hope Trump gets enough where he can sue. You know, they have no money right now anyway, since USAID got cut off. You know, they got some money, so they keep it up. They won't have that for very long. They posted and quickly removed a claim on X that President Donald Trump spent Thanksgiving with Jeffrey Epstein in 2017 when he was president. So, yeah, you better take that down. And that might not be good enough to save you. We'll see. We'll see what Trump does. I hope he sues their eyeballs out of their head. Here's Maria Bartiromo, what she got. Hi, Maria. Representative Eric Swalwell under federal probe as millions in mortgage fraud allegations surface. My question is, with Letitia James and also that Lisa Cook, I think that's her name, the problem was they scammed the taxpayers. Like with Letitia James, they estimated it was 18,000. 18,000. And Lisa Cook, it was however much it was, you know. It wasn't millions. What kind of fraud with mortgages did Eric Swalwell do to get millions in mortgage fraud? Did he have phony frauds? Remember that Arizona situation where people were filing deeds of trust that were not real. Like saying a mountain man owes me $500,000 on this deed of trust, and I get $500,000 cash. They file a fake deed of trust. I say, this is money I borrowed. It's right there recorded in the courthouse, but it's all phony, just a way to give me cash. Not that anybody ever did that. That is what it was alleged in Arizona that got shut down, the talk about it, but I don't believe the investigation got shut down. Multiple tied to cartels. Fake deeds for properties, fake deeds of trust for hundreds of thousands of dollars going to politicians. All ghost mortgages that aren't tied to anything, a ghost property. Remember, I'm bringing this up now because if it was just Eric Swalwell claiming a investment property was his primary residence, it wouldn't be for millions of dollars. Get what I'm saying, folks? We got to read between the lines a little bit, and we are. And we are. Here we go. What's this now? China's control of key rare earth magnets threatens U.S. national security. John Molinar, I've never heard of him, explains how Beijing's control of rare earth supply chains poses a threat to national security and manufacturing. Well, you know, China has infiltrated sub-Saharan African countries where they pretty much own the damn country. So let's see how Trump handles that with them. What's the best way to handle a competition? You flood the market with a better product. That's the way Walmart wiped out all the Western autos and smaller businesses, was they undercut the prices. But we got to have a supply of rare earth. Well, I think we're going to have a supply from a lot of these countries Trump is doing business with, like Argentina. Plus, he's opening up exploration and drilling and mining all over the country on millions of acres that were off limits just because the big club said so. We're going to be getting into all that. And China could go pound sand. I'm not worried about that, except that we just don't have access immediately, and it can cause us problems. Oh, this is where I got cut off. I better take that off the screen. That's the one that cut me off. Talking about Jerk Smith. Jerk Smith and Christopher Wray. California folds to Trump. Revokes 17,000 trucking licenses, given mostly to foreign nationals, many of whom are illegal aliens. All of them were given to foreign nationals, many of whom were illegal aliens. 17,000, that's because Trump has the power to do that because they're using interstate highways, which are under federal control. Unless they want to just truck around on little state back roads. And even then, Trump will probably do something about it. Oh, I just got a notification that Trump confirms he's going to be suing the BBC. So good luck, BBC. Whoa. What's going on? Better be careful. I guess when... Oh, my, I'm losing my balance here. Whoa. Bear with me, folks. I'm struggling here. It wasn't just the BBC. European Broadcasting faked the news, too. I already played that for y'all. I played that clip. Let's see. So a lot of times I don't get to go through these. Did you all hear about Alina Habba getting attacked with a baseball bat? I haven't seen that. I saw one video I didn't get a chance to watch by Doug in Exile, but I haven't seen it on Fox or anything. Attorney General Pamela Bondi revealed Thursday a suspect on the run after allegedly confronting U.S. Attorney Alina Habba, damaging property inside her federal office and fleeing the scene. I heard it was a baseball bat. Bashed up the office. So these people are violent. We got to step up security or something before somebody gets hurt. Well, that's, odd thing to say after what's happened to Charlie Kirk and the Trump assassination attempt. New poll. Trump endorsed candidate dominates gubernatorial primary field. Guess who? Guess where? A brand new survey of Florida Republicans shows Congressman Byron Donalds. Didn't Donald Trump say Byron Donalds was going to have a bright future? Holding a commanding lead in the race for governor. He's going to replace Ron DeSantis. I think there's term limits for governor. Ron DeSantis has done his time, or going to have done his time. And Byron Donalds would be a good replacement. And Trump gave him a high-profile endorsement. Did I put this one up? Oh gosh. I got to put this one up for you. Observed a timeline. Epstein in 2017. Trump is dangerous. 2019. Trump's DOJ indicts, arrests Epstein, and seizes his island. Epstein was right to fear Trump because Epstein knew Trump helped the victims seek justice in Florida in 2006. Trump was Epstein's number one enemy. And that's not a complete timeline, but it's better than most have been putting out. Oh gosh, here's a report. This is about a person, it's a short report, who was an alien that did not belong here. In other words, illegal.
New this morning, San Antonio police have identified 21-year-old Jose Hernandez as the shooter in Saturday's shooting at a landscaping company. This happened yesterday morning that we first brought to you on GMSA. This happened on Stall Road on the northeast side. Police say Hernandez is employed at the location and showed up and started to shoot at other employees. 3 people died. He was later found dead with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Now, police still have not released a motive.
Yeah, his employer, I guess, I don't, I'm speculating. They probably told him he couldn't work there anymore. And he went wild and took his own life to boot. So, terrible. Let me see who's still with me. Oh, everybody's still with me. Hi. Good, I'm glad. Yeah, Byron's a good person, I tell you. I like Byron. And Trump gave him a heartfelt word that I think you got a bright, bright future. Oh, this is the only thing I got off of Ruski News. The USA has launched an operation against drug traffickers. It's called Southern Spear. And this is on Ruski News in the Western Hemisphere, announced by Pete Hegseth. According to the Associated Press, the American aircraft carrier, of course, we all knew this. I told you all about the Gerald Ford. I put a picture up of the Gerald Ford. The American aircraft carrier USS Gerald Ford is currently heading towards the coast of Venezuela. It's odd that all the stuff that's going on, I talked about with the fog, with the troops rolling in, 150,000 troops massing, that they didn't put anything up today. I'm wondering what is up down in that area. When things get quiet, it's like, whoa, what's going on? What's this video about? I don't even remember. Let me see.
Tonight, people are stunned that...
let me go ahead and play it, see what you all think.
Tonight, people are stunned that the robbery suspect is just 12 years old. Police say the 12-year-old and a group of juveniles were out here on the 200 block of M Street Northeast, trying to steal someone's bike, but snatching their groceries instead and running away around 7:45 last Wednesday night. Around just 20 minutes later, someone is riding a scooter on the Metropolitan Branch Trail near the 1300 block of 2nd Street Northeast. Detectives say the 12-year-old girl and a group of juveniles grabbed the rider's book bag, stealing the scooter and a cell phone. And then this past Sunday, that's when police tracked down one of the suspects, that 12-year-old girl, charging her with all the robberies. People who live in the neighborhood are shocked that the suspect is so young.
God, where her mother at? Where this little girl mother at? Where they role models at? Where's the adults? That's the question we all trying to figure out.
It's a sad and unfortunate reality that we live in.
And tonight, police tell me that they are continuing this investigation.
She might be off trying to figure out the best way to spend her $23,000 in EBT. To do what's best for the family, right? That's what I'm expecting. That's what I think. But a 12-year-old going out there, what's this one? Oh, let's see what FBI Director Kash Patel put out. He's bringing up Thomas Crooks. And we all know who Thomas Crooks is. He's the one who shot Trump. Over 480 FBI employees were involved in Thomas Crooks' investigation. Employees conducted over 1,000 interviews, addressed over 2,000 public tips, analyzed data extracted from 13 seized digital devices, reviewed nearly 500,000 digital files, collected, processed, and synchronized hundreds of hours of video footage, analyzed financial activity from 10 different accounts, and examined data associated with 25 social media or online forum accounts. The FBI's investigation into Thomas Crooks identified and examined over 20 online accounts, data extracted from over a dozen electronic devices. Okay, that's 13 is over a dozen, I would say. Why is my screen freezing up? Where was I at? Okay, examination of numerous financial accounts and over 1,000 interviews and 2,000 public tips. The investigation, conducted by over 480 FBI employees, revealed Crooks had limited online and in-person interactions. I don't know about that. Planned and conducted the attack alone and did not leak or share his intent to engage. What do y'all think about that? To engage in the attack with anyone. You buying that? I will remain silent. On that matter. Midas trash. News: Jeffrey Epstein said Bill Clinton was never on the island. I am waiting for the day when this outfit gets confronted with their misinformation, whether it's through a lawsuit, if they say something libelous or slanderous or inaccurate and harms someone's reputation, which in my opinion they already have, and I hope they have somebody going through every one of their damn videos. Because what I heard was that there were some prominent attorneys back in Midas Trash Network and tied to NGOs. I don't know. We will see. I believe we will see about that group. I'm not putting them up for nothing. What's this about? Let me see. CBP agents expected in Charlotte for immigration crackdown. Charlotte, North Carolina? Are they going to be wanting to see some DMV records? Remember the story I told you all about last night? That North Carolina was putting out thousands of voter registration through the DMV for illegal aliens? Well, they're coming to Charlotte now. Democrat-controlled DMV is what we were told. So maybe that is a quick response group by the Trump administration to get into that stuff. The voter fraud. So anyway, here's a video I am a little worried about playing on this platform, but I will. And you'll see why I'm worried about it. It's the awakening is happening about the waste, fraud, and abuse, the EBT, okay? The USAID money, the billions of dollars Americans are getting robbed from by other countries tariffing us, and we can't do anything about it until Trump. We're learning about all this stuff. What's one of the other big things? What they did with the illness and why they were forcing people to take a certain medical procedure, right? That's another red pill that's coming. So I'm going to play this video for you all. I want to thank Gary for going to buy me a coffee. Big time, Gary. I really appreciate it. That's why I call you chairman of the board. And Mike and Bev and Wayne and Norm and everybody that helped out on Buy Me a Coffee. I do appreciate it. And I want to thank you all for spending your precious time with me. Oh, and Miss Mindersu. Yeah, I know she's in there. And so I'm going to play this video. Let's hope I don't get in trouble for it. If something happens, Mountain Man Speaks on Rumble, right? And my backup channel here, which I will talk about on Rumble if anything does happen. All right, you all? So you all have a great night, and I'll be seeing you soon. This is Mountain Man, over and out.
He has two major statements that he says over and over again. Vaccines are the greatest return on investment I've ever had. And my number one goal and the biggest issue of our time is overpopulation.
Yes.
Right? We need to reduce population. He doesn't say that accidentally. He did the TED Talk where the heart of it is how through modern medicine and vaccines, we can reduce the population of the world.
First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
That is a statement that came out of his mouth. I'm paraphrasing, not exactly, but they tried to retract it. And then in the next video, he's doing a whole thing on how we need to reduce the population of the world.
How there's too many people, it's causing the problem, all the problems of the world.
So when I'm like, when any of us, it's a conspiracy theory to say that vaccines are reduced. Well, I mean, is it?